My name's Chelsea. I was just making this video to introduce myself. I don't know, I'm really nervous, but I think that I should explain, who I am, what DID is for me, because, every diagnosis for everything is different for everybody. Well, one thing that it is the same for everybody is that it's caused by severe trauma. So, what happens is when you're a kid, repeated severe trauma, DID, first of all, dissociative identity disorder. That's what's in my description of my profile. So, it's just from repeated severe trauma. I'm not going to get into exactly what mine was, just because, if you want to know, you can ask. It's not super secretive or anything, but just repeated as a child. I just basically, the same people that were giving me food and shelter were also the same people that were causing me trauma and harm and hurting me. And so the parts of my personality that were supposed to form together could never form together because they were looking at the same people with such drastically different views. And so, those parts of my personality just stayed separate. And they just stayed so separate that they formed like different viewpoints and opinions and memories. And sometimes when those memories come out and those viewpoints come out, some other parts of my personality completely go away. And that's where the switch is, the personality switch. And for me now, I'm gonna put some chapstick on because my lips are dry. But for me now, when I have a switch, I really don't even like, other people just think I'm having a mood swing, like Chelsea's being moody. Oh God. Back whenever I was younger, I would go entire years that I didn't remember, entire years of my life. And people told me I would do things like, knock over dressers when I was mad. And if any of you know me, you know that I'm a very peaceful person. I'm a Buddhist, for God's sakes. I'm not even a Buddhist. I'm an atheist because I don't believe that people should be forced to believe things, which is kind of a Buddhist belief. So that's why I say I'm Buddhist. Peace, everybody. But Buddhists believe in everything. And nothing. I don't want to offend anyone by any of that, by the way. I forgot what I was talking about. I just forgot what I was talking about. I forgot where I'm supposed to be looking. Am I supposed to be looking up there? I'm just looking at myself. So narcissistic. Oh yeah, I have this little other. Oh yeah, okay. Oh fuck. So that's the other part of this, is that I have right now I have 3 conversations going on in my head, but at any given time I've got several other conversations going on in my head. So right now I've got a few other conversations going on in my head, but right now it's like a normal amount of time. But it's not as bad as it usually is right now. I'm kind of calm. So back to my inner world. That's what I should be talking about. So basically, in my inner world, since my personalities never became one, they just kind of grew apart. And during those parts of my life where I don't remember, see, that what just happened was completely dissociated. So during those parts of my life where I don't remember, I basically just, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need to take a break for a second. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm dissociating a little bit. I might need to start the video over, but I'm trying to just be like as organic as possible, because I mean, I don't give a oh, I just burped. Should I start the video over? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But okay. So anyways, DID. Your personalities never form together. So around the age of 6 or 7, if that doesn't happen, if your personalities don't form together, you don't end up ever forming. Your personalities never form together. And so, you know that saying, the fight or flight? Well, now mine has fight, flight, or split. And the fucked up thing is that it was so normal to me that I didn't even know I had this until I was 32. And so here I am, 32, about to be 33, and I'm finding out that all these symptoms that I have are not what they seem to be. Example 1, racing thoughts. I thought racing thoughts were what are actually all of my alters talking to me at once. Now, the textbook version of racing thoughts, I now know, is visual, mostly visual, with some verbal to narrate those visuals. But, I mean, thoughts are supposed to be visual thoughts, apparently. And then the things that you hear in your head are things that narrate those thoughts. Well, my thoughts, my racing thoughts, when I get really, really deep in my thoughts, are auditory thoughts. But I never thought, like, oh, I'm hearing shit. Like, I never thought I was schizophrenic or anything, because I knew they were my thoughts. So that's the difference between DID and schizophrenia, because it didn't scare me. I knew it was my thoughts. I never was like, what's that? That's my example. That's my impression of someone that doesn't know where the sound's coming from. What's that? So, but, and see, that's another reason that DID is so hard to diagnose, because, like, you're this way as long as you can remember. You don't know that nothing's wrong with you. This is a coping skill. This isn't something wrong. This is something that's very different. And, another interesting thing is, my therapist thought this was interesting. So I think it's interesting, because, I mean, of course I think I'm very interesting. But Jiminy Cricket, the Pinocchio's conscience. Oh God, Poppy's talking in my head. I have a conscience. My first conscience I ever had, her name was Poppy. Poppy. And the fucked up thing is there's this little girl on the internet named Poppy, and this bitch is fucking creepy as shit, but I can't stop watching her videos. And she's really pretty. I love you, Poppy. But anyways, my first conscience was Poppy, and she sounds like a female British version of fucking Jiminy Cricket. And I'm so confused, and I still can't wrap my mind around the fact that, that fucking people... Okay, so Jiminy Cricket talks to Pinocchio outside, but Pinocchio's a puppet, and he doesn't have like a head like for Jiminy Cricket to get into, so of course he has to go. It's like the magic of the actual movie, the magic of the, you know, the magic of Disney. So, but if he was a real boy, Jiminy Cricket would have been in his head as his own person, right? So then why is it so far-fetched for me to grow up thinking that my Jiminy Cricket, aka Poppy, was normal and supposed to be there, and I just had more than one of them? And also, I still don't believe that people, I mean, if they say it's like point or like 1% of the population, but I think it's like way more than that, because shit, dude, there's gotta be more people like me. I mean, hell, maybe there's not. I'm pretty fucking weird. But anyways, so that's what DID is. Maybe one day I'll tell y'all about my inner world and what that looks like. Bye-bye.